All right, good morning, guys. Good evening. It is our trades back here with another video. It is Thursday, July 18th, the year of our Lord, 2024. And another big day here in the markets, guys. If you like this content, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Use the affiliate links in the description box below. Apologize for not uploading a video yesterday, guys. Here, I was in jail visiting my client. Guys, if you're in my local area and you get arrested, give me a call. I'm kidding, guys. I can't advertise like that. Seriously, don't. But anyways, had fun at the jail. All right, so with that being said, we're back here. And guys, let's talk here. Let's start with the micro NASDAQ. Let's get on the daily chart. Let's have a look at Thursday's candle as we are heading into Friday, guys. Thursday's candle here on the micro NASDAQ. We moved down a total of 404 points. That is 2% on the day. Reached a low of 19,758.75. Let me go ahead and remove the drawing so I can analyze this for you guys. We're going to start here from the daily chart looking at Thursday's candle. First thing you'll notice is that it is a black spinning top candle. And the average true range right now is sitting at about 309 points. This candle's range was 404 points. So we had a big range day on Thursday, and I think that's on further economic news that the United States economy is continuing to slow down. So with that being said, guys, the markets have been kind of selling off. We reached a total low from our peak all-time high on the micro NASDAQ here, 5.84%. That's almost 6% down from our all-time high at 20,983.50. Reached a low here on Thursday intraday, 19,758.75. High of the day at 20,162.75. Closed around the midpoint of that, 19,933.25. So we had a little bit of a rally. From a daily perspective, we are working on our third straight down day. From an ICT perspective, guys, if we have a look over here, you can see that there was a prior low, 19,811.50. We ran that low. And then let's have a look at the volume profile. I know a lot of you guys like the volume profile. I think I can get the session volume profile here going. Not. I don't know exactly how to get the volume profile here on. Okay, gonna remove the indicators. Gonna see if I can get technicals, profiles, time, price, opportunity, fixed range, periodic, visible range, volume profile. Okay, here we go, guys. On the daily chart, guys, as you can see from a volume profile perspective, we've come down below the point of control, which was located at 20,032.50. That's on the heels of this trading action. So from a daily perspective, we've now moved here on the micro NASDAQ, moving into a little bit of a lower volume profile node. That prior action that the market's currently trading in, I'm highlighting it here with a box. From an ICT perspective, we ran on that low that we made on the Monday, the 1st of July. You can see that when the market ran below that intraday trading on Thursday, we had something of a rally off that. Okay, guys, let's get down to the hourly chart and show you what I saw on an hourly chart here from the regular trading hours perspective. Let's get down to the 15-minute chart. Keeping that drawing on the chart from our daily, our bottom right. Text alignment, bottom right. Will that do it? Middle right. Oh, I'm sorry. This is not even this is sell side liquidity ran. Let me get that loaded real quick. Sell side liquidity ran, bottom right. Okay, guys. So that's from a daily perspective. That sell side liquidity was ran. I changed it from left and right. Different times, guys. Okay, so here from a 15-minute chart, let's look at the regular trading hours starting on Thursday's action. So initially the market tried to rally on Thursday. I've also got a fixed range volume profile on here, guys. Put in the majority of our volume here up around that 20,000. big figure number 20,000 here. The NASDAQ did try to hold that. We fell below that big number 20,000. As you can see, we had initially made a low at 12 o'clock noon here. I've got it set to New York local time. Started putting in some volume here around that 19,800 level, about 19,800. Initially, guys, we rallied in the noon hour up into 1330. So let's break this down into sessions, guys. 0930 to 1200 is going to be our morning session. That's Wednesday. Let me get to Thursday. 0930. Remember, there's 3 sessions on the day, guys. So we have the AM session, 1330, and then the PM session. So just looking at our regular trading hours, the morning session we initially ran higher. Called that an ICT. We would call that an ICT Judas swing from an ICT perspective, guys. Initially, the market on that 9:45 and 10 o'clock candles tried to rally. So you can see we had quite a bit of trading volume. The market, figured that it was a fair value somewhere around that 20,039 level where that point of control is. So the market wanted to try and hold that about 20,000, say 20,040 on the micro NASDAQ as a level of support. At that point, I believe we had some economic data come out. Economic data that came out on July, I think it came out, on July 18th. Pretty sure we had something come out. Regardless, guys, the market plunged past that 2013. Initially, we tried to rally as the market hit that 19,900 level, 1045. A lot of traders would have got right here on that 1030 candle. I think a lot of traders would have been tripped up on that 1030 candle, thinking that the market was going to be set for a rally. We took another leg lower, so another 45 minutes straight down. And as the market came in from that 11 o'clock to the 12 o'clock, so as we were finishing up the morning session, it was straight down, guys. So you're opening sort of AM opportunities in the NASDAQ, assuming you weren't taking little long scalps. The big play was towards the downside. Now, holding the NASDAQ short can be pretty scary, guys. I mean, this thing can rally pretty quickly. So just holding the NASDAQ short is not, can be a pretty daunting task, frankly. Can be a pretty scary task to do that. Okay, so we reached that initial low here at 12 o'clock. The market rallied during the lunch session. So from 12 o'clock to 1330, ICT teaches that the lunch hour is 90 minutes. You can see basically on the dot, guys, the lunch session ran up into this ICT order block here. If you're looking at it from a volume profile perspective, we put down a little bit of a high volume node, put down some volume around that 19,800 level. The market then rallied back up to basically a low volume node. From an ICT perspective, we're going to say the middle of that order block there at around 19,950. The market was not able to rally on the first instance, and then we dropped down during the PM session, dropped down another 177 points. Now, as the market got into that second low, this, if you wanted to know, hey, where do I think I could have had like a really excellent trading opportunity? Of course, guys, very easy for me to say in hindsight, like something to the effect of, well, if you just would have held short from the time that the market opened, that's not going to help anybody here. That's not valuable information. Where do I think that the majority of traders could have looked at this chart as it was printing and made a good trade? Well, I think right here, right at the very end of the day, you can see from that 1500 candle, the final hour of trading, guys. I don't want to say that's easy money. I don't think it's right for me to say that any trading money is easy money. But looking at where I've highlighted the chart, at the very end of the day, the NASDAQ is forming a double bottom here, right around that 19,775. And as we come into the very end of the day, the market had already shown somewhat of a willingness to pare back some of its losses. So once you've already seen that willingness to pare back some of the losses, and now you're on the second attempt lower, you can be pretty confident that, all right, we might not blow all the way back up to 20,033 and make a 300-point move at the very end of the day. But when you see that, like from a 10-minute perspective, 5-minute perspective, as we come into that final hour of trading and the market makes a new low with a lot of energy, right? We had a lot of two-way action, and the market did not seem to have a willingness to go much lower at that point. We had reached a second new low on the day. here 10 minutes in the last hour of the New York Stock Exchange. Personally, I think that would have been the best trade of the day. The best trading opportunity that you could have seen would have been right at the very end of the session, in the PM session, final hour of trading, otherwise known as power hour. Right here on the chart is where I would have taken a trade. Okay, guys, I'll show you my executions. I did not trade the NASDAQ in the afternoon, but I will go ahead and show you my executions on the day. Started out buying at 20,059. Took a scratch there as the market rose. Basically, I just went break even, and then I tried to buy again. Yeah, I tried to buy again. I think I scratched again, or a small loss. Bought here 19,916 spot 75. So that initial run up, I was in on that. I was just trying to long it throughout the day. So see, I executed here at 19,916 spot 75. As I saw that the market was making its second push lower. And then the exit is nothing really special, guys. I thought that the market was going to come, at that point I thought the market was going to go back up to about 20,152. I really thought the NASDAQ at this point, a few down days were down like 4%, going on 5% from our all-time highs. Really was confident that the market, wanted to rally, but that's why I'm always trailing my stop up. So as the market came lower, I buy again. I'm taking some wash trades, buy again, wash again. The remainder of the session, I was just trying to long today. I didn't really want to get in on the short side. I was nervous that the market was, going to continue, was going to rally. So my final trade on the NASDAQ here, this is real money trading. Final trade on the NASDAQ was here. Took a long at 19,786. Closed it out 19,835 as I took a trailing stop. So, pretty happy with that trading. I'm not too upset with that. But I did have court today. I was looking at other things, so I will admit that I did trade on my phone. I know I shouldn't be trading on my phone, but I like trading. Okay, so I did make a profit today, a couple $100. Where do I think that the best trade objectively would have been? 1,500 to 1,515. That's basically where I think that the best trade opportunity was. All right, guys, let's head over to the MES. I'm going to take my executions off the screen. I was trading the MES right towards the very end of the day. I was going crazy the other day like a freaking idiot. Okay, guys, so we're here on the MES. Going to take us to the regular trading hours, and it's basically the same story as the NASDAQ. The market initially tried to rally. You can see that we put in quite a bit of volume here around that 19,000 or 5,640 halves level. Put in a lot of volume. The market looked initially like we were about to come into this, the regular trading hours gap between Tuesday and Wednesday. So you see that big hole in the chart, the regular trading hours gap. If you don't know what a regular trading hours gap is, guys, go watch ICT's videos on it. The regular trading hours gap is very simple. It's that gap between the stock market close and the stock market open, only showing you the regular trading hours. I thought that the market was going to come back, fill in some of the Tuesday to Wednesday regular trading hour gap here on Thursday's action. That is not what happened. The market instead initially, let's break this down into sessions, 1330, and then the PM session. So we can see here on the 15-minute chart, the market initially tried to rally. Judas swing basically is what ICT would call that. Market initially tries to rally in the AM session. We end up plunging lower, reaching an initial low in the AM session of 5,592 evens, going a little bit lower than that into the lunch session. Lunch session made a low of 5,590 evens. Initially, we had something of a bounce, a little bit of a rally, 25 3/4 points. So if you were on that would have made a little bit of money. We then, a little bit of a difference here between the micro ES and the micro NASDAQ. Micro ES takes a little bit further of a plunge than the micro NASDAQ, and we end up making a low on the day of 5,570 quarters and rallying up from there. So the market putting in some volume in these areas here, around that 5,598, 5,600 even levels. You can see from the volume profile that we are putting in some volume around that area. Point of control from the visible range here on the regular trading hours. Lots of volume here around the 5,650 area. What that indicates to me is that the ES algorithms were trying to hold 5,650, a nice sort of even number, 5,650. Trying to hold that number as the point of control. I guarantee you a lot of algorithms were trying to hold that 5,650. They were unable to do so, and then when the market fell through that support, there wasn't a lot of liquidity lower, so the market ended up, really reacting off of that. If I were to be a guessing man, guys, coming into let's have a look at the electronic hours. This portion of the video, I want to give you my thoughts coming into Friday. Okay, guys, so my thoughts coming into Friday's trading, let me give you those real fast. The week here, you can see that we're already, thank God it's Friday model. Yeah, so guys, the market's already kind of rallied about over 20% off of the low for the week. Weekly candle is going to, by all indications, guys, unless there's a massive rally on Friday, we're going to have our first black candle in a while, our first substantial black candle for the micro ES. Guys, this could be something of a long-term high. I mean, this is our second push higher. Let's look from a weekly perspective. The standard deviation moves higher. Almost one full standard deviation or one measured move off of our last projection. Just taking the candle bodies, that's over a one standard deviation move. So, guys, I think there's a possibility that the S&P 500 futures have put in something of a high or a long-term high. I cannot guarantee that, guys, as I don't have a talisman here. I don't have a crystal ball in front of me. But with that being said, is there a possibility that the S&P 500 futures have reached something of a high for now? Yeah, I think it's possible, guys. I think it is possible. Okay, so with that being said, let's get back down here on the hourly chart, give you my thoughts coming into Friday. Guys, I think that in the overnight session or sometime during Friday, going to remove the drawings. I personally think, looking at what I'm looking at, with the point of control here being somewhere, depending on, let's see, our point of control, if I scroll it out further, is going to be higher. Just want to take us on the regular trading hours and show you somewhat of a limited range. That volume profile should load soon. I think, guys, we're looking at the market trying to make a rally back to 56.50. If I had to take a wild guess, I think that this trading range from yesterday is going to be a magnet, and that number comes in at about 56.50 to 56.40. I do think that we're going to have a relief rally on Friday on the micro ES and on the micro NASDAQ. Guys, that's just my opinion. I obviously don't have a crystal ball into the future, but sort of looking at where, if I restrict the past 2 days of trading action, obviously there's a lot of interest around 56.50. It's a nice round number, and that's where I think that the market is going to rally back up to about 56.50. Okay, guys, with the micro NASDAQ, I think we are going to see a relief rally tomorrow. I think that the market's going to come back to about 20,061 3/4. Could go further than that. But ultimately, guys, if I had to be a buyer or a seller on Friday, I would lean on being a buyer and not a seller of U.S. stocks, of the tech stocks, of MES. All that being said, guys, I'm just a day trader, amateur day trader, full-time lawyer. I don't have a crystal ball. This isn't financial advice. But if I were a betting man, if I were a gambling man, I'd use risk management. I would say, okay, I think it's probably going to get a relief rally on Friday. Don't see any economic news coming out on Friday. I don't have any reason to believe that U.S. stocks are going to be beat up again on Friday. So probably something of a relief rally tomorrow. Okay, guys, last thing I do want to talk here from a daily perspective here on crude oil. And I think it's pretty interesting, guys. Looking at the daily chart on crude oil has just, dramatically, let's get on the average true range. Crude oil coming down to a very low sort of ATR, $1.44 on average per day. Guys, we're really stuck putting in a lot of trading volume around this 81 level. I think that there's a chance, depending on where crude oil wants to go, guys, coming into the fall and to the winter as we're leaving driving season, I think that there's a chance that crude oil could easily, through these low volume nodes, And then, guys, if you want to confirm if you're an ICT perspective, look at these ICT fair value gaps, ICT fair value gap, ICT fair value gap. So from an ICT perspective, we have illiquidity. From a volume profile perspective, we have low volume nodes. So as the market potentially comes down from this quagmire that it's in up around 81, I think that crude oil could end up retracing quite a bit, coming down to 76 bucks. Maybe we reach 74 bucks. That also aligns with fundamental news. As we come into the fall, the summer driving season is going to come to an end. So I personally think that crude oil in the near future is likely to fall, and it could potentially fall pretty quickly. Let's have a look at gold, guys. Looking at gold from an ICT and from a volume profile perspective. Gold making its third high here from a daily perspective. So gold reached an all-time high of 2,488.4 an ounce. Gold making that third high. Having a difficult time, guys. If I had to take a wild guess, there's just a lot of resistance or hesitation for gold to breach that 2,500 even level. One thing that when you are day trading, one thing to look for from a chart perspective are these big round numbers where big fund managers can easily place their orders, or a lot of algorithms might be interested in that sort of even number. It's called the round number effect. How much I believe in it, I put some credence into it, but I don't put a ton. But with that being said, guys, looking here at gold, there appears to be a hesitancy for gold to get above that 2,500 if I had to take a wild guess. So in the near term, what I'm thinking that gold's going to do, I'm thinking that gold's going to come back down to about this point of control, 23.46. From an ICT perspective, guys, so moving away from a volume profile perspective and moving on to an ICT perspective, we've got sell-side liquidity located at 23.07, and I'll prove that to you by showing 1, 2, 3 relatively equal lows around that 2,300. So in the near term, I think that gold is going to move lower through these low volume nodes down to about 2350. And then I think there's a chance that what gold's going to do is something like this and then plunge down through 2307. And so I do think that gold is kind of on the southward path. Some other items that I might want to have a look at. Copper. Let's have a look at, wait till the volume profile loads, guys. Copper has been beat up. We've got 4 straight down days on copper futures. But as we come into Friday's session, seeing a little bit of a rally, we've run on that sell-side liquidity that we had from Thursday, the 27th of June. Point of control is up at around 4.6055. That's way up here from a daily perspective. And from an ICT perspective, we do have fair value gaps above or inefficient price delivery. So I think there might be a rally in the near term on copper futures. Finally, guys, I do want to have dollar futures up here. Let's have a look at euro futures. I think euro futures are probably coming back down south. Looking at that buy-side liquidity, which has been ran. So the buy-side liquidity was run. The market did not want to hold on to that new high. Looks like the market turtle-souped or rejected that new high at 1.0966. As the market comes lower, look at our low volume nodes here from 1.09, 1.088. So I think that what's likely to happen here on the euro is come back down to about 1.0769, come back down to that point of control. I don't think that happens overnight. I think we're going to see some two-way trading action is what I would expect. But I think the next move down is going to look very similar to the prior moves down. From a weekly perspective, I don't see the euro breaking higher. I think we're just going to stay in this range from about $1.10 even down to about $1.06.50. We'll call it $1.06.50. So I think that the euro is going to remain in somewhat of a trading range, guys. Okay, so with that being said, any other items I want to look at? Dow Jones Industrial Average. Interesting here, I think. Interesting price action here on the Dow as we reached a high during the intraday trading week of 41,673. We're really far off that, guys. So looking at where we're currently trading, we're down 684 or 1.64% 684 points off of the intraday high that we reached on Thursday's action. So the Dow coming in line with some of the other indexes and starting to correct. Let's take a look at the 4-hour perspective on the Dow. So I think that the micro ES, the micro NASDAQ are likely to rally tomorrow. What I'm seeing here on the Dow is I'm seeing a lot of market interest around that 39,500 level, or call it 39,660. From a 4-hour perspective, lots of volume being put in around that price area, so I think the market's going to be attracted to that. However, I don't think that the Dow Jones is just going to plunge on Friday while I'm calling for a rally on the other stock indexes. So I wouldn't expect that to happen. To be honest with you, on Friday, I'm probably not going to trade the Dow, but looking at the Dow, I have reason to believe lots of volume to the south. Maybe it's going to go, I think it's probably going to go to the south. The micro Russell, something else that I like to trade, guys. This is the Russell 2000 stock index futures. Point of control where a lot of volume had been put in, lots of overlapping candles and trading range around that 20,050 round number. The Russell, jumped higher all the way, reaching a high of 2,304.7. So what would I expect for the Russell 2000? I think we're probably going to come up and come to about 2,277, come into this higher volume around 2,266, and then I think we trade lower, guys. So that's something that I would imagine on the micro Russell. Dollar index futures looking like they want to rebound. Just the initial look, point of control is a little bit lower, so I think the dollar. Let's change the volume profile. Volume profile, we're right at that point of control. I don't think that the dollar is going to move a ton on Friday, but I think it's going to be a small black candle. Okay, guys, this has been Our Trades, back here with another video. I want to thank you for joining me. If you like this content, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe. I make videos about the futures markets.